yeah. This is Outlaw Window Cleaner Radio, episode 53, and we are here with the Custodial Custodian, Austin Childress. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Pretty good. Hanging in here.
Gnarly. So, you were in Kansas City. I mean, I've noticed the last couple of days you're really making a big wave on Facebook and social media with that, like, you guys can't beat me shit. You know what I mean? You got a bunch of guys that are like, I can do it faster than you. But I tried to point out, I was like, listen, man, that pole that dude was using was like a broomstick, like a literal broomstick. And, like, the squeegees and the washer and shit were all like, you know, I think that shit was suspect that you were using to begin with. That was like Home Depot stuff. And you were out there beasting with some Home Depot stuff. Yeah, it was bad. So it wasn't until later in the day that you guys got your hands on a good washer and a good squeegee, because I think you busted your squeegee out, didn't you? Or no?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Did you get your...
I'm still using... What's that?
Did you... in Kansas City, Missouri, did you have your squeegee there, or was that someone else's squeegee you were using?
That was someone else's.
Okay. I didn't know. But
yeah, that was actually the first time I used the Legend channel.
Oh, okay.
So you're going for speed competition out there in San Diego this year at the IWCA. You should go ahead and try that. Because two fish guys got first and third last year.
Right.
So right now, fish window cleaning is the champion.
What's the date on that?
That's in February, I think.
Dude, that's only
San Diego.
That's only because those French guys and the Chinese guys didn't show up.
Yeah.
Those guys are freaking nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Austin, he's known as the 2-minute man.
Yeah.
2 pump jump.
2 pump jump. Those dudes do that shit super fast. So, Austin, how long have you been cleaning windows, my good man?
For 13 years now.
13 years.
Nice.
Okay, I can dig it just as long as me. So we've been at it just about the same amount of time. I'm handsomer than you, though, unfortunately for you.
But he's got a fedora.
Yeah,
that's right.
You have a fedora, and that trumps my good looks. So technically, I guess you are better looking than I am. I don't, what can we do about it?
Joe Hardy don't like your fedora.
Yeah, Joe Hardy was not happy the fact that she's like, who the fuck's that guy wearing that fedora?
That's my trademark, motherfucker.
That's my shit.
That's
Here's
my
the
shit.
thing. Austin's fedora was actually a nice hat, and Joe's is a bleached out hunk of shit.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
no offense, Joe, but I did think you got a new one because you had a video where you spoiled yourself to a new hat, man. What's next month? Underwear?
Is he traveling now? Is Joe traveling around? Is that what he does for a living?
I know he went to that one dude's house to help him out. I'm not sure if that's like his new thing or not. I don't know.
We need to get him in Ohio.
For what?
Put him in that snow. I want to get some guys up
I don't
here
need him to implement any systems for me.
I don't need systems. I just want to see him in the snow.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's coming.
Fun. The summer is gone now. There is snow on the ground here.
Yeah, there's not yet here.
There's none down where in Ohio terms, Tim is living in Florida right now in Ohio terms compared to me. There is snow on the ground here already. It's been snowing for like 3 or 4 days, not straight, but just off and on. Snow here, snow there. It snows, then the sun comes out and melts it, and then it snows at night. And we're supposed to get some snow tomorrow, so that's
the ground's getting frozen now. That's the problem.
And guess what? I've got a huge water-fed pole job to do this coming week.
That'll be
So I'm going to be shooting video of me washing windows with a water-fed pole system with snow on the ground. It should be pretty cool. It should be awesome video. Huh?
TJ? Where are you based out of?
I'm based out of Sandusky, Ohio. I live in Ohio, right on the lake shore of Erie, Lake Erie. So I'm probably like I'm I'm right across the lake from Canada, so we get that north wind. You know what I mean? So it's just coming across that lake, and it's fucking snows way too early here.
Way too early.
Way
Jeez.
too early. I've gone trick or treating. Yeah, I've gone trick or treating with snow on the ground. I've gone trick or treating in snow boots before. So
No.
yeah, like I had to wear my snowsuit and my snow boots, and then my costume, the old plastic vinyl costumes that you put on with the plastic face. Yeah, I was rocking those in a snowsuit back in the day. So it's a fickle place where I live. And then sometimes there's been Novembers where I've been out on the lift in shorts and a t-shirt sweating my ass off in November. It just all varies, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes it snows early here, and sometimes it's summer until like the first week of December. You know what I mean? It just all depends.
It's been winter here for a week, man. And it's not going to stop. It'll be 42 tomorrow.
I can't imagine Austin Childress, the Custodial Custodian, even knowing what we're talking about. He probably visits snow, goes and skis or snowboards or something up in the mountains, and then comes down and goes surfing and shit at night or something. Perfect. Yeah, I'm fucking California dudes.
Yeah.
So are you primarily a window cleaner? Is that primarily all that you do, or do you do other things? I mean, because you are the Custodial Custodian, so.
Primarily, yeah. I mean, I do pressure washing, gutter cleaning. This time of year, I do Christmas light hanging. Just did my first one yesterday, actually.
Oh, that's all Christmas lights already?
Yeah.
You guys are doing that full swing right now, the Christmas light shit, yeah. So, do you have any preference? Do you have a preference? Like, man, I'd rather be doing this than. Do you prefer cleaning windows, or do you?
Right now with my advertising and everything, so.
Right. So say that one more time because you kind of broke up a little bit.
I was saying that I mostly just am focusing on window cleaning right now.
Right. That's what I like to window clean too, but I also like to make money. So my favorite thing to do is make money. So I was actually doing inspection maintenance for one of my larger customers last week, where I was painting, caulking, replacing ceiling tiles, cleaning vents, cleaning coils. We were just whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's winter's coming, and you just got to make money. If they ask you to do something, you do it. That's what I like to do anyway.
I don't think you'll be cleaning windows much longer, TJ.
Why?
You get into that restaurant maintenance, man. That shit that's some money, dude. I had a cook that I used to manage that he started into that restaurant servicing and got into doing all that.
I'm just doing it for them, bro. I'm not trying to
I know,
go
he's got 8 trucks
crazy
on the road now,
I ain't trying to go crazy
$90
for
an hour
everybody.
per man.
Yeah, if you get in with the right company, I got hired by a guy to clean windows at a high-end restaurant, and I was working for him until I found out he had a van with all these tools, and I'm like, what exactly do you do here? He goes, I fix a gate, I fix a bad, door closer, I do this, I do that, and then I'm working in Ruth Chris Steakhouse, and he's there too. I'm like, so this is what you do? And he goes, yeah, I strictly work for restaurants. I work for Ruth Chris and the other one. Mm-hmm. And like you said, Tim, I mean, I guess there's a market because they don't want to put employee on and pay him every week. But this guy goes and knocks out a punch list between all these restaurants all the time.
Twice a year, restaurants, especially franchises, have major inspections from corporate.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you don't have time in those restaurants to be dealing with the piddly shit. You know what I mean?
I feel like the people I'm doing the work for, they're not a corporation. It's a privately owned chain, franchise, and I feel like this is a test.
Yeah.
They threw quite a bit of shit in my lap. But let's see if this guy gets it done.
Yeah.
So it may. I mean, I'll do their other 12. I'll say it. The other 12 fucking burger joints afterwards. I mean, if that's what they're trying to do, I'll do them all. I don't. I'm not going to turn money away.
No, definitely not, because now you've got a couple different extensions. You got 2 different markets, avenues to make money. You know,
I'm not going to advertise. Hey, I do
train somebody to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to advertise. Hey, I do inspection maintenance for restaurants, but if they want me to service all 20 of their locations, I will do that. You know what I mean?
Sure,
I've got no problem doing that. You know, I'd be stupid. Yeah. I'd be stupid not to. I mean, one section of their business is, you know, like 45 minutes away from me, but for this stuff, I would be willing to travel for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You do the windows there anyway?
The stuff that's an hour away?
Yeah.
No. I just do the 8 close to me.
Yeah, I would. Well, you got that guy trained, right?
Well, yeah, he's all right, I guess.
I would add on those and
but he's. I mean, well, I'm not going to take work from nobody. If they want me to do the windows, I will do them. Yes, yes, I will do them.
Especially if they own it, it's easier to write one check than several. You know what I mean?
Well, I haven't solicited that. You know, like, hey, I'll do your windows. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
The way I look at this is a bridge into other stuff, because they have a guy that does the maintenance, but he does all the maintenance even up there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're having a hard time getting him to show up. And I don't know if he just doesn't show up in my area or he just don't show up, period. And if he don't show up, period, and I pull this off, maybe that will lead to maintenance there and possibly in the future maybe window cleaning there. Which, for all of those places, I would just bring on a person, let them do the local stuff, and then I would travel and do the stuff out of town.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm fast, I know the quality control, and I'll be able to look and keep up. When I come back into town, it'll be easier for me to watch what they're doing in my town than having to them go an hour away and me have to drive there and see what the fuck they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
It's always plus, I mean, with you bringing on guys and starting to train them, it's just better that you initiate probably the first 6 months of every commercial.
Yeah. Oh, right. You're probably you're definitely right. You're right about that, because that's the same way I would do residential stuff. So with that stuff being said, and all out of the picture here, do you do just primarily commercial work, or do you do residential work too, Austin?
I do both, but mostly residential.
Mostly. Oh, okay. So do a lot of residential stuff. See, I do a lot of residential in the warmer months. I don't do, of course, 3-4 months out of the year, I'm not really doing a whole lot of residential stuff. Not a lot of people are trying to have their windows cleaned in snowstorms and shit. Unfortunately, I would do it, but they won't let me.
Yeah, and back on the restaurant thing, I used to do floor resurfacing or resealing and high dusting for the Chipotle Mexican grills here in San Diego.
Uh-huh.
The budget cut, unfortunately. A few of them closed down, but it is what it is.
That's E. coli.
Yeah, that's that E. coli. And there was a Chipotle on every fucking corner. You know what I mean? There's only so much Chipotle that you can do without getting E. coli. You know what I'm saying?
We got a local burrito joint down here kicking Chipotle's ass right now.
Oh, really?
That high head. Yeah, you got a high head up there?
No. But we had no, we don't have, not yet. But we had a Qdoba's. Qdoba's, do you know what Qdoba's is?
We only have 2 in Columbus, man.
Well, they're privately owned. They're privately owned kind of franchises. You know what I mean? They're kind of they're like Chipotle, but a little bit smaller. And their food was the fucking bomb, dude.
Yeah, they're phenomenal.
Right.
Phenomenal.
I wonder if we just lost Mark. I think we lost Mark Tanner again. That dude needs internet, man.
He'll find his way back.
I don't understand how you can have that much money and your fucking internet fuck up all the time. A dude's got money pouring out of his ass.
All the gators out there messing with his internet.
Yeah. Mark Tanner's got so much money, dude. It's ridiculous.
I don't doubt it.
And he's got terrible internet receptions.
We need to save our nickels, pennies, and go down there and see him this winter.
Right. So I ask everyone except for the last guest, because he's a water-fed pole only guy, and he kind of offered it up anyway. But what's your favorite set of tools? What's the tools in your tool belt there, Austin? What's your preferred tool?
I mostly use Ederay.
Okay.
Actually. I've been trying the new Reach It mops.
Okay.
Decent.
Yeah, I like the. Did you happen by chance? Did you get a hold of one of the ones that have the wagtail fabric mop? Have you? You know what I'm talking about? The blue one.
I did have one of those.
Okay.
The one I'm using, I'm about to grab it right now.
Okay.
Got it right. Is this white one?
See, I didn't get to get one of those.
It's got it's almost like a tiger mop, but it has like these little. It's a little more rough, almost like a Scotch pad, but it's like little stripes on it. Works really well. Holds a lot of water.
He's back.
There's Mark.
Sorry, guys.
What happened, man?
He just came out of a drunken state when it happened.
No, Mark had to get like 3 or 4 more stacks of $100 bills to get himself up higher in the air.
No. Actually, I had to go mark some ballots and turn them in. So I was doing my voting.
Go Florida.
Yeah.
Go Florida.
Oh my God.
So you guys are re-voting?
No. That's a whole nother story. No, absolutely not. My vote counted. I know that.
Right. Okay. So are you digging that mop, Austin?
Oh, I love it. I do.
I didn't get a hold of one of those. The one I got was the. It's the same. It's the same materials as that you have, but they're in rings instead of lines.
Huh.
I got that one, and I got the microfiber like wagtail fabric mop, and that fucking thing is sweet, dude. I love that.
I tried the blue one, the green one,
and that's the one you like the most.
Is it holding up, TJ?
Huh?
Holding up pretty good so far?
Yeah, I like it. I'm not too big of a fan of the Velcro system. You got to kind of pull the fabric on the inside away from the Velcro sometimes to get it to lock. Yeah. But, and you don't have to do it constantly. You don't have to do it constantly, but occasionally, like maybe once every couple of days, I got to fix it. You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
For their first attempt at a mop, I like the fabrics and shit. And what you will like, Mark, even though you probably won't buy one because you still ain't got your shit, is there's the sleeve is really tight on the T-bar, super
nice.
Tight, super
That's
tight.
good.
Am I right, Austin? They fit.
How
they fit real snug.
Huh? Yeah, they're nice.
How are the ends stitched?
Sure.
How are the ends? How do you feel that the ends are stitched? Do you like the way the ends are stitched, Austin?
Are they double stitched or they?
Yeah, I use it every day.
Yeah, I don't even have any wears. No, I don't even have any. Like, after you use a mop for a little while and it gets nice and wet. I've had mine for going on a couple months almost now, right? Or my second month I'm going into. And, normally you'll start to see a little pull on the ends where they're sewn. I'm not even getting any wear points, and I use my shit every single day.
So your ends are solid too? You don't have to see any wear on your ends?
Yeah,
okay.
I have not yet. I've not seen any wear yet. So they're put together pretty nice. I'm sorry, Austin. I didn't mean to talk over you. Go ahead.
No worries. I mean, the other thing I was going to say about these mops is like, I use this, probably got finished around maybe 2 o'clock. It's been 3-4 hours. It's still wet. I can go mop a window with it right now if I wanted to.
Yeah. Like if I stick mine in my gunslinger and slide it in the truck in the toolbox, set it in there after I've dumped everything out, I pull that mop outside of that gunslinger and it's still damp. Like it stays down. The only thing that sucks is I'm going to have to start bringing it in the house because that fucker will be a block of ice. So that's yay. What's that?
Got the original, made by Richie himself right here. One of the original prototypes for the gunslinger.
Nice. I have one of those.
Yeah, I've got one of those. Those are the nice ones. I like those ones.
Bitchin'. Mark doesn't have one of those. He's not cool.
No, I don't rank up.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to take that prototype once I get that one for Joey, and I get Joey in that. I think I'm going to take that prototype. I think I'm going to start sending it around, like send it down to Mark for a month or something like that. Let it be in Florida, and then send it all around the country and shit.
And everybody needs to sign it where it was. That's
that'd be cool. That'd be cool. That original, that original prototype. Yeah, that'd be cool as hell.
Yeah, let's do it.
But I'll send it to you first and let you.
Do you have one of these? Is it the actual like this one, like the gunslinger prototype?
It's the first one. The original.
Yeah, I got those too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got two of the tip jars. I don't have a gunslinger. I have 2 tip jars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one without the front sling, and I think I have one of the first ones with the front sling. So I think we got what you've got there. I think we also got. I think we got 2 of them, didn't we?
Yeah.
You got one, I got one, and no, Josh got one. We all three of us got one.
Yeah. You got
but mine had to be. I think mine was made separately because I had to take the one without the front sling because Josh threw a tantrum. Remember?
Yeah.
And then,
yeah. And Richie sent you one with one.
Then Richie sent me, Richie said, because I was like, dude, you know what would be cool is if you put a fucking little doodad in the front of this bitch. He's like, for what? You know, I was like to put hold a scraper or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love the sling, man.
And then boom, here comes the sling. He's like, man, that's actually not a bad idea. But
that's where I keep my little French cutter.
Right.
Bathroom, window.
Right.
Squeegee right there. Boom.
Yeah, it's badass. So, how long have you been in business for yourself, Austin? From jump or?
About 12 years.
Okay.
I've been running my current business 3 years running now.
Okay.
Finally found a name that works, I guess.
Right. What's the name of your company? Can we know?
It's A&S Cleaning Services.
Okay, cool.
It's not anus.
Do you are you and Richie working in the same area? Are you and Richie competitors?
Kind of, but he does mostly commercial. I do mostly residential. So
okay, so there's no turf wars.
Not really.
No?
I mean, I've helped his jobs, but
right. Well, we seen that video you guys did together, and he's like, "Man, I'm disappointed in the way the video was cut." I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Because that fucking washer went in the gunslinger. He didn't need to cut it away. It should have been one continuous shot." That was a pretty good video you guys did. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a good video.
So you guys are really close as far as distance. You overlap each other, obviously, but him in the commercial and you in red. That's cool that, always like to have someone that you respect and can bounce ideas off of and work, especially somebody like Richie that's so,
right.
He's got so much in his head as far as window cleaning. The guy's, a big-time veteran.
Right.
Well, I remember before he even got sponsored by Reach It, and I was like, that's a great idea. He was showing it to me, and it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I told him they should probably get one of the big manufacturers, and lo and behold, got picked up by Reach It. So
right. Which seems to be a pretty good pairing so far. They're working pretty well together. I tell you, if you guys don't have a gunslinger yet, now would be the time to maybe put the money together for them. They're going to have a Black Friday sale coming up. You guys can get yourself a gunslinger. But maybe he said he's wheeling and dealing, so maybe you could package something up. You know what I mean?
I would not go back to the plastic bombs for sure. I was saying something like that the other day to Jeremy, the guy who's working for me. He doesn't know what a plastic. His first bucket on a belt was a gunslinger, so he has no experience with a plastic bucket on a belt at all. And I had left my gunslinger somewhere where I had to travel to go get it like a dumbass, but I had to use a Samurai, because we got the Samurai, and then, in fairness, I also needed to try it out. So I was kind of stuck using it for over a week, and the following week I missed the boat to get over to get my gunslinger, and eventually I just said, screw it, Jeremy, you got to use the plastic bucket on a belt. I'm tired of this shit. You suck. I'm faster. Let me have my gunslinger. So,
I own it.
I give it to, I own it. It's mine. I'm using it. I'm tired of my pants being wet. So I give Jeremy the Samurai. He didn't really care for it, so he switched to a regular Unger bucket. And on both buckets, he struggled mightily with. He was is way slower than he normally. He was spending most of his time trying to get the squeegee in the bucket. It was kind of funny to watch him struggle. You know what I mean?
Especially if he's got a wide body channel. Those things.
Oh yeah, and that's what he uses. He uses an 18-inch Sorbo channel that Larry Crook gave me from the IWCA show last year with an Unger handle. So he was fighting around with that. It was beautiful. But yeah, I could never go back. He's like, dude, that one right there. You should send that to me. But anyways, you don't use it. You don't use it. You're all Ettore brass channels. You don't even use it.
I use Sorbo.
It's just you like sometimes you do.
I use 18-inch Sorbo on commercial.
Yeah, sometimes.
But I don't know. I'm gonna put that on the wall.
No, you're not. You're gonna mail it to me.
Am I?
I'm gonna make you an offer. I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
I like those offers.
I like
turn out well.
Yeah, they usually do. I kind of dig Sorbo, but I can't use. I'm with you. I use my brass stuff on residential and the wide bodies on commercial. It just works out better. I just like it. But I know there's guys. I worked with a dude that all he would use is Sorbo channels. He would not use anything else. That was all he would use. Yeah. Residential, commercial. That's all he would use. He used a small Sorbo channel, usually a 14 or a 12, but on residential stuff. But it was always a Sorbo channel.
I tried that, man. It just didn't work out well.
Me neither.
Yeah, I just can't. Anything 6-inch,
like dog ear them, 45 degrees. Yeah. And he'd cut them exactly to size of every single window that he came across. So that would be easy one swipe.
Right. I know, dude. I've seen a guy on one of the forums. I think it was in the pro window cleaning group. A dude had a fucking fold up wallet deal, and he had a squeegee from 24 inches down to fucking 3 inches, or 2 inches. It was
Ron has that.
And every half inch.
Ron has that. Every window he's ever come across, he's cut down a squeegee for it, and it's literally, it's labeled, it's perfect, and it's a set. You know what I mean? He can go up to any French pane and have a perfect squeegee for it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
I don't get it.
No, I don't either, because I don't care. You do more detailing with that exact size squeegee than if you had something a bit smaller and could play the glass.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
And as I was saying, the wide body channels just don't seem to do as well on at the 6-inch size than a 6-inch brass. It's just too bulky for such a small tool. I mean, it's an opinion,
Right.
I feel like the edge on a brass tool is finer than anything else anyways.
Yes.
The edge on a brass tool is finer than any wide body channel on the market. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, I'm starting to use the water-fed pole on French windows.
Hey, I tell you what, man, I don't care what nobody says. I do too. I use the shit out of it on French panes. I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah.
The job coming up Monday before Thanksgiving, and that's what I'm going to be using. Water-fed pole.
I will be using one tomorrow. You're going to be using the new window weapon, huh? Oh, man, this guy's a fucking reach it shill. This guy's this was set up. Holy shit. I didn't know Perry Tate was here.
That's Harrison Jr.
Harrison Jr.'s all fucking going to get his window weapon and shit.
How's your window weapon, Mark?
Brilliant. Actually, I spoke to Perry. He called me.
Way to fucking be a dick.
Yeah.
Way to be a dick.
Well, Tim's pretty skinny, but he's strong enough to throw me under the bus.
Right.
That's that basketball in you. But anyway, I spoke with Perry Friday, and we went through everything at length through text and then voice, and
my pizza.
I do have I did receive my replacement gunslinger. I did receive my black diamond squeegee rubbers, which I will be putting into action tomorrow. My dozen soft 22s. I'm looking forward to that. And there is another shipment that's supposed to have my pole, my window weapon, and whatever else I got. So should be all here this week. So
that window weapon, man. Everybody's blowing up on that thing right now. Love
it. Yeah. There's man. What's his name? What the hell is his name? I always forget it. Jason Lehman. Okay. Jason is using the chicken wire fence pad, and he's loving it. He says, I got to be honest with you. I'm not afraid to say this. I'm scared to death to even fucking put that on a piece of glass. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm scared to death of Jason Lehman.
Yeah, that too. I feel like Jason could easily be sitting in the woods across the street with a long gun and with a very high-powered scope waiting.
Yeah,
I mean, for all I know, he could be mailing me something that's going to explode. I'm not real sure. Anything could happen. But yeah, that the chicken wire fence pad, I don't know what it is. I don't know what you want to call it, but
he's got one right there. Show it to us.
Yeah, he brought in a pizza, not a
I thought he had the window weapon.
Yeah, he fucked up.
Yeah, he's got the pizza attachment.
Yeah, we don't know.
Hey, has anybody tried a Velcro back slice of pizza?
No. On the window weapon? I have not.
Yeah.
I've got extra pizza here at the house. I'm going to try tomorrow. I'm going to take a piece of pizza and duct tape it to the brush and then do a video of me washing a window with a piece of pizza.
I'll tell you what.
This new attachment, I know I'm going to do a breadstick attachment. I got some breadsticks. They're kind of aggressive because...
With the pizza on there, you squeeze the window, take a bite.
Yeah, but see, I don't think fucking pepperoni's as abrasive as baked on Parmesan cheese. You know what I'm saying? I think the breadsticks might be a little more aggressive, so maybe we'll do a breadstick brush. That's it. That's what we're doing. The done breadstick brush.
and you always have your lunch with you. That's pretty smart.
Yes. Well, that's happening tomorrow. I'm glad you guys fucking are okay with that. So I'm going to take the bronze brush and duct tape 2 pieces of garlic bread to it. It's going to be the bread brush. It's going to be sweet.
Does anybody remember a tool called a wind spray?
That sounds familiar.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I will try to find my wind spray for the next podcast. The wind spray was around before, I would say, all these fancy brushes. Let's just call them fancy brushes. And what it was basically a gooseneck adapter that went on any pole, and then it had like a 40-degree fan spray tip on it, like you would have on a surface washer. You know that little stainless tip that goes in a surface washer? Well, that was molded into it, and it sat above the brush. Okay, and that was a very affordable tool because you didn't need a water-fed pole. It fit on any pole with a cone tip, right? Mm-hmm. And it was already above the rinse bar, and they had really good brushes, and they were weak and they would break. But I used to take that, and this was before my time with Reach It and carbon fiber poles. But I would put an 18-inch strip washer on it, microfiber, and I'm going to tell you, that thing cleaned like a mother. I loved it. It broke. I bought another one, and eventually they went out of business. I still have some of their brushes, but just the adaptation power of a microfiber strip washer. You know, of course, it was heavier, and you're on an aluminum pole, but thing was brilliant, and I don't know why they went out. I know one of the distributors had a bunch of their brush holders and some brushes they were discounting, and the brushes were unique to the pole because it went on like a strip washer. You know what I'm saying? Like the end of it was a cone, and you would just slide the brush on it, or you could slide a strip washer on it, you know. And
well, I've got a brother who's a machinist, and I've already got an attachment for my Reach It Mini. I got an insert that slides in just like their ends do. Stick it in there. Fucking, then I can click a Unger cone on it, and I've got one that'll take a fucking Sorbo cone. You know what I mean? So, and I've got one that's a Euro thread that'll take one of my Euro thread attachments, so I can, hey. And I use my Reach It Mini.
The attachment, so that way they can put even like a little tree trimmer, chainsaw on the end of those Reach It poles.
Right.
Cutting a tree at like 4, 5, 6, 7 stories up there ain't nothing out there that you can do that with.
Right. Hey.
Yeah. Put a chainsaw on the end of anything, it's not going to hold up.
What do you
I'm
mean,
not standing
dude?
near you. No.
What do you mean, dude? Why not?
chainsaw weighs what, 25 pounds?
That sounds like a good plan,
Oh,
dude.
that's all right. Yeah, and then put a piece of kite.
They have on, they already have that goes up like maybe 2 stories.
Yeah, things like lifting a house too. I know what you're saying, but those are usually electric nowadays. Like the 24-volt electric.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you talking to?
I don't think so. My wife. I don't think that's
Oh my
God.
She come in. Hey, she just come in to be like, "Yo, Mark, shut up," like she did last podcast during the live stream, and shut his ass down. As soon as he put those glasses on, she came in. She's like, "Mark," and he's like, "What?" What? Fucking nerd.
He thinks I get in trouble. I never get in trouble, dude.
He did. He
know
got in
enough.
trouble. He got in trouble. Don't let that motherfucker fool you, man.
So, Austin, tell us a little more about Austin Childress, because all we know is what we met, and obviously what you've said. So, give us a little more background on you. Sorry about that.
I'm just glad it's yours.
Just been last few years, I'd say I've been training to make myself really efficient in window cleaning, and finding the different ways, different techniques, different products to give me, I guess, the best result. I kind of feel that you definitely don't want to sacrifice quality for quantity, but if you can have something that could increase your quantity but maybe make your quality a little better, it's all the best,
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
The one thing we touched on the last podcast was, TJ, I think we had said something with Chris Ritchie about, like Chris's point was, instead of going there and getting as much as you can out of someone, how about getting a fair price and, getting a lot more customers that way and building a relationship. And I agree with that. And the one thing I forgot to say was, and not only that, how about becoming more efficient? So you're making the same money if you were getting a lot more money for the same job by changing your technique. Because there's only so fast you can move your hands, but if you've got the right technique, you can cut down a window much faster than, you know what I'm saying? Learn technique, learn how to work, like, Austin touched on, work more efficiently, and you can make
like
more
the
money.
fact that Mark's fucking camera and shit, his internet's so bad that he kind of like blocks out here and there, and there's like seconds in there where it looks like he's having a stroke while he's talking.
Like that max headroom. Remember that max headroom?
No, your face gets stuck like this, Mark.
Well, I can't even see you.
You can't even see me, huh?
I only see your logo.
That's because you're whack.
Oh, no, there's Tim.
No,
there you are. Okay.
Oh, we're switching them all around.
There's that pretty boy. There's that pretty face.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, your face keeps looking like this. See,
actually,
just
that's
did it
not
again.
the video. That's just me.
Yeah, okay.
You guys messed up my part of it now. I don't even see Mark.
Oh, Christ.
You guys suck.
And Mark, dude, Tim
I see your black
like a
diamond and outlaw
every time we do this.
Your stickers, TJ. That's all I see.
My stickers.
So Austin.
Yeah, up in the corner.
Oh.
Austin, what's in store for ANS window cleaning in the next 10 years?
Well, I'm trying to build up to the point where I can start hiring more guys, and eventually I do want to expand to other areas, different states.
Yeah. Competition pretty tight over there where you are in San Diego?
Definitely is. Yeah, they're a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
I also try to pay my guys more than the average person.
Yeah.
They might not see it that way. They want more,
Oh, of course. But it's probably also very expensive to live out in San Diego, right?
Yeah. I'm paying almost $2,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment. So.
It's more than my mortgage.
Damn. That's a lot of money, cuz. Shit.
Yeah.
So, would you say your pricing for window cleaning, not you personally, but in San Diego, is above average what we would get in Ohio or Florida?
Well, when I looked online, I heard that the average for per window in and out is about $16 an hour. I charged about average $10 a window. I get some people saying that that's expensive, but get what you pay for. So.
Yeah, we don't get no $10 a window here.
What is it, like 5, 6, 7 bucks?
Well, I don't price like TJ. I don't price windows. I price how long it's going to take, and then I make the money on beating my budgeted time. So being efficient and liking to think that I'm good at what I do, that's how I make my living. You know, I'd rather, like you said, well, I like quality, but I also have to have quantity. So no one account holds my business in jeopardy.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, we all have accounts that can go away and you just kind of smile and say F off, or they're not happy, and you know, good riddance, and you go out and replace them with someone who's a better, you know, fit for your business.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm advertising on Groupon. I've been doing it since I pretty much started the business, and got a lot of clients. I can just kind of pick and choose, you know. Just,
Yeah. And how many employees do you have, Austin?
I have one worker right now.
Yeah.
Kind of almost fired him, and then he almost quit. And he wants
Why'd you almost fire him? Can you tell us why you almost fired him? Can we know?
I guess I could. I mean, I basically caught him stealing from the company.
Ooh, gone.
He's gone. Gone.
Yeah.
God, that's the one thing.
Nope.
My guys are told this. I pay you enough that if I find, you know, I tend to give a lot of rope to people, but the one thing I will not stand, and we're 90% commercial, so I tell my guys up front, if I see you washing a storefront in a shopping center that we already have work in, or even if we don't, if you're out on the street washing something that's not ours, you better have their business card and the paperwork filled out, and that better be the first time you're there. Because if I walk in and say, yeah, so-and-so has been cleaning my windows for 3 months, you're gone. I don't care if it's $10 or $100. Absolutely gone. That's the one thing that I give no leeway to. If you get a tip, that's yours. You know,
right.
You get a haircut.
That's the thing I find with a lot of workers is that they end up wanting to start their own stuff, or you know they'll even quit and think they can do it all on their own.
Yep.
And you know, or they'll go with another company.
Wonderful world of window cleaning.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of subcontracting. I've done that, you know, pretty much since I started. And I've even had guys go with a different company that I do subcontract work for. And I'm sitting there laughing because I was going to pay them more than they're getting paid by that company, because I got a relationship worked out with them where they're paying me a higher percentage, and they decide to go with that company anyways.
Right.
So,
well, you know, the first employee that I ever had came straight out of the Air Force. Young, clean-cut kid that was still one of the most amazing employees that I'll probably ever have. Matter of fact, we went to dinner. He moved back to upstate New York. And long story short, he worked with me for about 2 years. Things were going good. And he rented an apartment, and the owner of the building, because Jason used to go home and talk about his job all the time and how happy he was working with me, and used to tell the owner of this apartment building about his job. And long story short, the guy goes and buys a window cleaning route, commercial. And Jason says to me one day, you know, I'm going to work for him part-time. I go, there is no part-time. You work for me full-time. And what you do on your time is your business, but that's a conflict of interest because we're direct competitors now. And I knew the guy he bought the business from. And long story short, I said, so you're going to have to make a decision. You know, when you came to me, you didn't know what a bucket was, and now you're one of the best window cleaners out there, and you have high-rise abilities. I said, so make your decision. He goes, I got to go where there's more money. And I said, well, what is more money? You've been with me, and every 6 months you've been getting a nice increase, and I understand you need more. Everybody wants more. I need more. But what's he promising you, just so I know? And he says, well, I'm getting 40% of what I do. And I said, well, you realize that I don't give you a percentage. I give you an hourly wage that turns into a salary, and if it rains, you go home and you get paid. You know, you just got to make sure we get the work done. And I mean, dude, this was a military guy. He was in tears. He goes, I hate to go. It's nothing personal, but I think this is the right thing for me. So I said, one more question. Are you going to collect the work? He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, are you going to what are you guys doing? Well, we're doing route work, and he bought a pressure washing trailer. We're going to do pressure washing too. We're already marketing to the existing accounts. And I said, okay. I said, so if you're not collecting it, how do you know? And he goes, I don't understand what you're saying. I said, it's going to be 40, that percentage is based on what he tells you. If you're not collecting it, how do you know he's being honest with you? Well, I trust him. Within 3 months, he came back to me, he says, I just did a pressure washing job that, based on your standards, would pay about $600. And I go, yeah. And he goes, he gave me $125. And I go, well, that's not the percentage you discussed. And he says, I think, he's scamming on me. And I go, well, Jay, I said, I told you I'd never take you back because I feel wrong that I taught you everything you know and now you went somewhere else. I'm kind of bent. I said, so, he's like, I really made a mistake and I apologize. Long story short, he hit me in a soft spot and I said, I'll tell you what, let's make a deal. 6 months before you left me, you got an increase. It was like $50 a week. I go, that goes away. You go back to your other salary. I said, but here's the catch. And he came to me on a Saturday afternoon when I was working. He pulled up on one of my jobs. I said, here's the big catch. And he says, what's the big catch? I said, are you ready? He said, yeah. I said, you start Monday morning, 7 a.m. No phone calls, nothing, because I'm going to F him like he F'd me. He says, I can't do that. I got too much integrity. I said, okay, shake my hand, have a nice day. By the time he got back towards his truck, he turned around and he said, I'll see you Monday morning. I said, remember what I said? No phone calls. This guy wasn't a window cleaner, and he had 150 route accounts that had to get done. Didn't even own a bucket. Goodbye. And he stayed with me for another 5 years after that till he moved. So, you got to entice them. You got to take care of them. Let them know that they're making decent money for your industry. You don't have a 401k to offer. You don't have health insurance yet to offer. You don't have, a lot of benefits that they can get elsewhere. But make them know that it's a better window cleaning job than any other company around.
Yeah.
And tell them, Austin, you tell these guys, you're going to grow with me. As I grow, you're going to make more money. You make me money, I'm going to make you money. You're not a number. If you work for a company with 15 employees, you're a number. They don't care. Because there's 14
Mark,
other guys.
Are your kids online right now playing video games?
Probably. Am I breaking up again? They're probably playing.
I don't even have any video.
Yeah. So,
everyone's frozen on my screen.
No, everybody's working on mine.
Yay.
Is your internet connection good, TJ? I know you said it was bad.
When did I say that?
When we first started.
I didn't say my internet connection was bad. I said your internet connection was bad.
Nah.
Dude, I got some of the highest. I got fiber. I got fiber in my house.
That's all that.
I got that Ron Musgrave's internet, motherfucker. I'm big time. I got fiber. The fiber looks good.
Yeah. That's too funny.
So, yeah, man. I don't know, dude. We lost someone else.
I see everybody. Tim's.
Definitely the kind of advice I, want to listen to and learn more about is build your company and get more employees. And...
Well, listen, it changes the parameter of everything. I'm a firm believer. I'm almost jealous of TJ that has one part-timer that shows up every day because you only got to make half of a payroll or one payroll a week, man. And let me tell you, if you enjoy what you do and you love to wash windows, it kind of takes some of that away from it. So, and it becomes more cumbersome. And sometimes you say, is it really worth it? But when you get to a point where you can't do as much as you used to do and you have to rely on labor, it's the kind of frustration.
Right.
But then you say, well, I'm providing a living for these people. And they're providing a living for me, So, it has its goods and its bads. I kind of think 1.5 to 2 employees, half meaning part-time, is a great place to be.
Oh, yeah.
And like for me, when I hired Jason, it was because I picked up a big contract that was like $2,500 a month, pretty much guaranteed. So I knew I could make it payable. I anything else out of it because I went to take care of him. But the first thing I like to do, or I would do, is in my mind replace his income. So then you for free, you know, it makes $2,000 a month.
Stop talking.
It costs $2,000 a month.
Your shit
you got to
is
go out
breaking
to
up
listen to
so
you having
bad.
$2,000 every month, and then now you got an employee that's doing a lot more than your $2,000.
Huh?
You know, it makes sense.
You can hear him? Oh, I was going to say, because I can't fucking hear him. It's just... maybe it's me. I don't know. I guess it must be me.
Just want to a point where I can literally just walk away, go on a vacation or whatever, but in all actuality, I just want to train guys, maybe even go out and train other companies, employees, just teach people, you know.
Right.
Every time you teach somebody, you're teaching your competition. Remember that.
Right, yeah.
But sometimes competition's a good thing.
No, you're teaching them when they're working for you, making your money, and because it happens more than it doesn't. Guys grow brains really quick, you know. Right. You know, they really do. That's what fish has a huge turnover because they don't pay. You know, they pay these guys. They start them out at 29%, and they have to supply all gas and all that shit. You know what I mean? Right. So they grow a brain and realize, hey, I can just double that I'm making and do this account, and I'm off. So now they're doubling up their salary, but they're cutting their whole area. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, it's been happening for years. Like it just keeps going and going. They're doing stuff out there at 90s prices right now. It's crazy. You know? In the 90s we were at 70s prices.
They don't realize that they're really screwing themselves.
Everybody's screwing themselves. Yeah, but in spring, really, right now here when it's winter and cold, and people won't go out and do the routes. So right now is a good time to pick up the work. You know.
I don't even know how many clients I get that say, "Oh, my guy retired," or business went out of business, or because the reason is they're not charging enough, but yet they still want that same price to get their windows cleaned. But they don't realize.
You notice when you're on YouTube, when you're putting out videos on YouTube, you'll notice that people will be watching like crazy, and you add more subs in the springs because everybody's coming out of the woodwork because it's getting warm.
You start to say, I'm like my hands are starting to hurt. This weather sucks. I'm dealing with that, and you become more into running it and keeping everybody going versus physically doing everything.
You've talked to Ron and Messenger, right?
Mm-hmm.
My buddy Ron. Yeah, so I started with him when I was 15.
Really?
He was 1 year into it when I was 15.
Yeah.
And, we would sit at Bob Evans all the time. You guys got Bob Evans on there? Just a breakfast joint. But that's where we'd always meet. We'd just say, hey, we're going to Bob's. It's just a breakfast joint for everyone.
Yeah.
So we'd just meet there at, in between the routes. But we'd sit there and daydream and talk read the magazines, the window cleaning magazines, about a guy that was making $80,000 a year, going to Colorado for 8 months, and then flying home to D.C. $80,000 a year in the 90s was a lot of money.
Sure, it was.
Commercial storefront.
Double now.
Yeah. So it was like that was always the daydream, and we'd always talk about being the biggest in Ohio and doing all. We never did anything but our own stuff, man. We never built to be the extreme companies until we finally said, "Screw it," Got into this residential and blew it up.
Yeah.
So, Ron's killing.
Just remember this. When I started getting a high rise, I used to think, oh, I'm going to get $30,000 to do this building, and I'll work 6 months out of the year, and that never happened simply because it's just never enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You get that. I mean,
look, the more you spend.
Yes. Yeah. I've made more, and I've had more, and I've made less and had less, and you got to find that altitude, and that's where you cruise with it, because that whole 6 months a year. I don't know about you, but it's very hard to step away from my business for more than a week.
Yeah.
Like my buddy today, I was with my buddy today, and he has a powder coat shop. He's been in business 20 years, and he says, he's looking to sell and move out of, up to North Florida, and he's like, I'm just tired of babying this business for 20 years, And he goes, not that I don't have anything. I made a nice living with it. He says, but I'm attached to it, and it's attached to me. And it's just him. And he's made a nice living,
Right.
But he's like, I'm just tired of it, and sometimes you get in it.
Ron's pulling in $300,000-$400,000 a year.
Yeah.
He's killing it. But he's working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, and if you have a family, none of that's worth it because, you see, like I said, I hired my first employee. Number one, I picked up a job, and number two, I was working 6 days a week, pretty much every week, and then I'm like, all of a sudden I look and I can't go to coach my kids in football. I can't go to my kids karate. Right. That's not worth it for a few bucks. It's just not, to most of us anyway.
Right. No, but he's never gone. He trained me and his kids, and there was 4 of them he trained. So, but none of them are full time right now. They're all have their own issues, or they're dealing. It's just a weird situation. Yeah. So, and he's scared too, and he's exactly scared to train anybody because he's been dicked so many times over the years. Every time he trains somebody, they grow a brain and go out and do their own company. And this guy will give you 100% just to get a job done. You know what I mean?
See, if they're with you for long, like I have my 2 guys that have been with me forever. If you ask one of them, would you be interested in doing your own thing? Because I have spoke to them about that for my exit plan to feel them out. Yeah. And one of them tells me, absolutely, I would love to have that opportunity. And the other one says, if you sold this to someone else, I'd pull a paycheck from them because I see what you have to deal with, and I don't want that. Right. And it took me a long time to wrap my head around that. My wife, she's the one that straightened me out and says, you know what, Mark? You went to work for your father and always knowing you were going to do this for yourself. But not everybody is either fit for or wants to run a business. They just want to pull a check and go home, and they don't have to worry and eat,
do their 40,
drink the business.
Yeah. They just want to their 40, live their life, have a good time.
Yeah, and there ain't nothing wrong with that, I mean, I just found that for me personally, and I'm not a materialistic person. I can't have what I want working for someone. I can't make enough money to. And I think you're probably in a similar boat. You're not going to get.
I got 7 kids, man. I gotta go out and make that money. But I'm not gonna get what I'm worth. And I'm very competitive. I mean, so for me, this is a competitive business.
Oh yeah. Oh, most guys are. Yeah.
I'm readying myself for winter. I've already decided I'm going to have to build a commercial in my area. I'm going to own I'm going to own my town for the first time in 20 years.
There you go.
It's been 20 years since we were big in this town.
Yeah.
And I live here.
Yeah.
Did we lose?
But the one thing that happens over time. The one thing that happens over time, you establish that relationship, like Chris Ritchie talked about, in the history of the company. It grows itself. You don't need Angie's List. You don't need any of that. You have enough customers that refer you, open up other businesses, take care of my friend's business. This guy moved in. I've told him, been working with me for 10 years. That holds more water than any Angie's List ad you're ever going to find. Right. And that comes in time, and that comes in time in building relationships with people.
I think where I messed up was I built too quick. Way too quick. It just got out of hand. The money was good. Yeah. The money is good. I mean, but now
it can implode. It'll implode.
Well, you're giving away the percentage, and then you're competing against other companies that are doing the same thing, and then you're just flip flop clientele, and you're not building as many as you know what I mean.
So, Yep. You're right.
It's getting better though. It's getting better. We raised prices.
Not everybody. Look, I realized a long time ago I could make a decent living. And
Tim smoking in the fucking office. Tim smoking in the office.
Shut up.
But you're not going to make it on the Forbes list. You know what I'm saying? You're a window cleaner.
You're going to make some money. We're all going to be Luke the Window Cleaner franchisees anyway.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I got to grow a beard.
That's our future, guys.
I'm going to grow a beard to make videos all day.
So, Austin, is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we let you go, buddy?
Well, I've been showing a lot of different things. I don't know. Whether it be techniques or...
Well, this isn't really the technique podcast. We don't sweat the technique.
As long as you're getting the window clean.
Yeah, as long as you get the window. Everyone does it so much differently. You know what I mean? Everyone's got a
guys
different
out
style.
Aerosol cans like crazy
Yeah.
right now.
Oh, geez, isn't it? Oh, it's so gross. It's so
Smell
gross.
like crazy.
Yeah, it's so gross, man. Put the aerosol cans away, guys. Jeez, oh,
That's
Pete's.
fish, man. That's fish.
Yeah, that's amateur hour.
Yeah.
Do you use aerosol cans, Austin?
I do not.
That's good.
Thank God. I didn't want to feel like an asshole
At least
for
you're
doing
cool.
How about the indoor wiping system, Mr. Austin?
Do you use indoor water fed?
Do you wipe inside?
Yeah. Use pure water and clean microfiber. Away you go.
Oh boy.
You use that stuff? That's your thing?
I don't do it on the regular.
But you have done it?
Yeah, there's certain times it can come in handy.
Oh, okay.
What's your guys' best practice for indoor skylights with flat paint, white flat paint, and they haven't been done in years, and you know you're going to leak dirt down?
Do you want what?
Skylight?
Do you want? You're asking me what I do?
Yeah, what's your guys' technique for that?
I get the window wet and then hit it with a flat squeegee and just let that shit run down the fucking paint. I don't care.
I've had to go back in and repaint.
Nope. If they say, "Hey, can you do my?" If they say, "Hey, can you do my skylight?" and I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Can you clean my skylight?" I'm like, "Well, it's probably gonna run dirty water down your paint and leave a streak."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Okay." I'm like, "So do you want me to do it?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, cool." And then I do it, and then it leaves a streak, but their window's clean. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who's the genius that I'm gonna put flat paint up here so they can never see it?
Yeah. I don't, and I normally you'll see some that have gloss that can be wiped down. You know what I mean? They come
rarely.
It's rare.
It's always flat paint.
I always tell them straight up. I'm like, listen, that's gonna leave a line. If the dirty water runs down, it's gonna leave a line. There's not a lot I can do. You know what I mean? I don't know what you want me to do.
Skylights for 6 months after I had to go back and paint. I refused. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. I'm not going back to repaint.
Yeah.
Raise the price up. Charge more for it. Tell them it's going to be like 30, 40, 50 bucks just to do that one
I was so pissed they made me come back and repaint it.
Yeah. I wouldn't have fucked
That's
why I always tell them straight up, if it gets the line, there's nothing I can do. If it gets dirty and leaves a line, there's nothing I can do, because there's some skylights you can't get a ladder into. You know,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? There's just certain situations. There's just nothing you can do about it, and the only way you can do it is with a pole. And if they're insistent, I just like, listen, it's gonna leave a line, and I'm not and if it leaves a line, I'm not fixing it.
Right.
And they're like, and I give them the option: we either do it or we don't do it. It's up to you.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they're like, I don't care. I'm like, all right, cool, man. I try to catch the drip, you know what I mean? But sometimes it just don't work, you know what I mean? What do you want? What do you want from me? You know?
Usually as hell, man.
Huh?
They're usually never done since the house has been built. They still got stickers.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't ever do that. I'm kidding. You want to know? You seriously want to know what I do? You guys are gonna laugh.
I just don't do it.
No, you know what? You want to know what I do? I take another pole with a clean, dry T-bar and stick it at the end of the fucking skylight, and then swipe down to it, and the T-bar usually catches the drips.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I do. That's, I was being facetious and being an asshole before. That's really what I do. It's sometimes it works great and sometimes it doesn't. It just all depends, really. You know what I mean? But most of the time, if I put a nice dry mop on a T-bar underneath there, and usually it's an 18. I just stick an 18 at one end, dry, lean it up against the wall, get the damn thing wet, squeegee it down, and usually the T-bar catches the... But sometimes it's difficult to close out, but, I've kind of gotten past that and kind of fanned that bottom edge down, you know what I mean, usually. So
you pallet crap out of it anymore.
Yeah, so, it usually works. That would be... If I had a suggestion for anyone, I would say try that. You know what I mean? If you can't get a ladder into it and they're insistent on it being done and you don't want to leave a line, that's really the only thing I've ever came up with. You know what I mean? And it was just by... And I, to be honest, it wasn't even my suggestion. I had a guy working with me last year that was part-time, and he's kind of OCD. So he's like, man, are you going to leave that's going to leave nasty marks on the ceiling? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to do, but she wants them done. I'm gonna try to shove that ladder in there. He's like, why don't we just stick this in there? But like, do you have a dry one? Or maybe I could put a rag over it. And I was like, oh, that's actually not a bad idea. And we did it, and it's been working. So it's only a couple times it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
You know, but normally I either refuse to do them or, I do them that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But most of the time, most of the skylights I see, usually I'll be able to get them without doing, leaving dirty ass lines. But if they're funky ass skylights and I'm like, listen, that's just going to leave a mark. I'm not doing it. I hate to tear your ceiling up. And usually they're like, okay, don't, I'd prefer it if you don't tear my ceiling up,
Normally, if you get the outside, it's pretty good. They're pretty happy anyway.
Right, yeah.
Funky and,
It's always got covered in bird shit or moss or something,
Yeah.
And if they're non-smokers, unlike Tim, if they're non-smokers in the house,
I don't
have too much
smoke in my house except for a podcast. I smoke in my house for a podcast.
Lies. Lies. He's always smoking in the office.
I got no. Yeah, when I'm on podcasts.
Don't listen. You blame the podcast for a lot of shit, dude.
If I could finish it out with the Skype on my phone, I'd probably just do this thing in the garage.
Right.
Yeah, there's no heat up there though.
Oh yeah, that's a bummer.
Well, I could take the portable shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, Austin, you have a YouTube channel, correct? Do you use your YouTube channel anymore or no?
I do. Just been going through a lot of personal stuff, so been.
Yeah, I seen that. I actually donated $20 to your GoFundMe.
What did I miss?
He's just got some things going on, personal stuff. I mean, if you're friends with him on Facebook, you probably seen what's going on. I don't want to, throw all of his business out there, but it seemed like a very, how can I say this? A very noble cause to donate to. So I was all about it. And I see the situation kind of rectified itself a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm still fighting the good fight.
Yeah, still fighting the good fight, but at least, you got a little bit of relief there, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That's good, man. That's good. I'm glad to see that. So you're going to keep grinding on the glass and, hopefully, the reason why I bring up your YouTube channel is maybe anyone that's listening, before we let you go, can go and subscribe to your YouTube channel. Where can they go and subscribe to?
Find you?
Yeah, how do we find you on YouTube, Austin?
Just look up Custodial Custodian.
On YouTube, guys, Custodial Custodian. That was pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? I mean, you are the Custodial Custodian. I mean, duh. I said that at the beginning, right?
Can I get a question?
Yeah.
Where did that come from, Austin? That saying.
I was just trying to come up with a good name and trying to come up with something catchy, and kind of thought, well, I do kind of like custodian work. It's not really janitorial, because the major difference between the two is janitorial is usually just during the day. Custodial work is actually like all around, make your own hours kind of thing.
Just, you know what? When I heard that, I have to say this: the first time that I thought of that line in the Breakfast Club when he goes, "Brian, your dad works here," and he goes, "Well, Andrew here is interested in getting employed in custodial arts."
What does he say? He's a backbone of this institution. I know all your secrets. That's so good. So, if you go and you check out the Custodial Custodian on the YouTubes, make sure you subscribe to his channel, man.
Good channel.
It's a good channel, dude.
Sure.
I dig it. So, but yeah, man.
I'm starting to do the Facebook thing as well now, but I almost feel like you get a lot more people viewing your videos on Facebook than you do on YouTube, for sure.
I think that's kind of a false narrative almost, you know what I mean? Because a lot of that stuff, the guys aren't really watching it. They're just kind of seeing it. It's more, you know what I mean? Like the views, like you only, like, I think Facebook will count a view if you're only watching it like a fucking, like 10 or 15 seconds.
3 seconds.
Oh, it's 3 seconds. So 3 seconds. 3 seconds counts as a view.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And that's how Joseph Henry Hardy gets all those views. Like people only watch that shit for like 3 seconds, and he's got millions of views. You know what I mean?
All I need to hear is hey,
Click. Joe's gonna leave us he's gonna leave us a super awesome comment for that because Mark is such a shithead. So, Austin, I wish you luck in all your travels, and you are also a fellow gunslinger, and you've been there from the very beginning. So, you kind of, you're one of the first guys to even touch one of these things, and I know that you're really digging your tools. So, hopefully we get to see some more Richie Blue products. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen some of the newer stuff. We can't really talk about it.
Right. Yeah, us too. Yeah, it's. I'm excited for him. It's going to be pretty cool, I think.
I've got it all sitting right there.
We can't really show you guys.
Right. Yeah, I got some stuff sitting over in the corner too, man. So, but yeah, Austin, it was awesome having you on, dude, and we'll have to do this again sometime, man, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. You take it easy, buddy.
Yeah, you guys as well.
All right,
Good
man.
talking to you, buddy.
Yep.
Stay safe.
See you, man.
Peace.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Outlaw Window Cleaner Radio, reminding you to get your Black Diamond squeegee rubbers at www.outlawwindowcleaner.com. Oh yeah, and Luke's still a bitch.